we're the majority in Africa. Okay. So it's just a totally different experience. When you're walking down the street and you see so many melanated people like yourself, you see so many beautiful people, you see so many options, and they see you. They see you. I figured that was a perfect time to talk about tonight's topic, since it's romance. And yeah, I got this night lighting going on. I am drinking this. This is some sort of blossom tea, and yes, I have braces in. If you don't already know, so I'm kind of slurring some of my words. I'm new with the whole braces game. So yeah, anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get into this topic. If you're new here, my name's Anton, and I spent a large portion of 2021 in Africa, and I really enjoyed that entire process and journey, and I am returning soon. Anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about dating, long distance dating, dating abroad. I already have a video on this channel that sort of discusses that, but now this is my experience dating two different people from the continent of Africa, and currently dating someone who is a Namibian. And I just really wanted to focus on Namibia right now and talk about some of the stereotypes that I've heard regarding Namibians. And since a lot of my Anton's classmates are Namibians, I wanted you guys to definitely chime in rather, and let me know what you guys think about some of these stereotypes, whether or not they're true, and where you think some of these stereotypes come from, and all that good stuff. And then I'm going to talk about my experience. So, first of all, I am dating an Oshivambo person. So, shout out to all the Vambos. The Vambos are the largest tribe or ethnic group in Namibia, as far as I know. And so, yeah, it's not too hard to meet a Vambo person if you're coming to Namibia. A lot of my African Americans who are looking to come to Namibia, you will not have an issue finding someone to date, all right, or to be romantically involved with if you come to Namibia. All right, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, and it's pretty accurate, I think. Okay, and that's another thing I highly recommend if you have been having issues finding, having positive experiences dating in the United States. Don't think that it's the same dating everywhere in the world. Of course, there are some things that are parallels or similarities, but your experience abroad may be completely different. Mine was, okay? As a person of African descent who is attracted to other people of African descent, in Arizona at least, the dating scene is totally different. People here subscribe totally to more European beauty standards, and so there are levels of racism in the dating sphere, all right? Dating sphere out here in Arizona and probably across the United States. So for me, I did run into issues. I remember I would try to talk to some people and they would say they did not date black folk. And these were other black folk making these comments, okay? Everyone has their preferences and everyone has their preferences, okay? And sometimes they are aligned to different ethnic groups, all right? And I don't fault people for that if that's what they want to do. I've dated people of various ethnic backgrounds, however, from all different areas of the world, but I find myself more attracted to people of African descent. That does not mean I haven't been attracted to people from various corners of the world, like I just said, but I do find myself kind of more attracted to people of African descent. So you could say that's my preference. All right, I know a lot of people have issue with that, And so maybe this is going to be a controversial video where I get a whole bunch of negative comments, but hopefully not. But yeah, if you are dealing with issues dating in the United States, travel, okay? Men, women, non-binary folk, whoever you are, travel outside of the United States. Different cultures have different perceptions, different beauty standards. Of course, the sort of Eurocentric beauty standards have been exported abroad, of course, but it's still much different dating in Africa, for me at least. Okay, I definitely know that Africans find me more attractive than the average American. That's my experience. That's based on how I look and all that, and it really worked out for me. Okay. And so I highly recommend you, especially if you're a person of African descent, having issues dating in the U.S., I recommend you check out Africa. Hot. So now there are different ethnic groups in Namibia, or tribal groups, whatever you would like to call it. I know some people find the word tribal group or kind of offensive, and so I will say ethnic group. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the different stereotypes. So I was thinking about doing, like, my friend Teacher Tess, she does like these videos where she'll put on makeup. Obviously I don't wear makeup, but I was thinking about grooming. This is some beard oil that my Namibian lover got me, and it comes with all these things, and my beard is clean, and this is what you put on afterwards. It sort of moisturizes it and keeps it nice and healthy. Anyways, so stereotypes. I've heard that Vombos are the best partners or the best lovers, if you know what I mean, in Namibia. That's what I've heard personally, and I would definitely stand by that. I've also heard that they're the most passionate. However, I've heard that they are also very traditional in their values, and I think most Africans are that way, more traditional values, and that probably goes for all the different ethnic groups. If you're a Vombo, please comment below and let me know whether or not that's true. Yeah, and also that Africans in general are ready to get married faster than a person from the West. I definitely believe that's true as well. Africans are more ready to talk about marriage and settling down, in my experience, than someone in the West. So if you are coming from the States and you are interested in getting married, I will say I believe, in my experience, Africans are more ready to settle down and get married than their American counterparts. All right? So that's something to look out for, brothers, sisters in the States. If you're looking to come to Africa to visit or move, there's nothing wrong with looking for a partner out there, honestly. They do have more traditional values, I would say, and that's probably across all of the different ethnic groups in Namibia as well. Now, one negative stereotype that I've heard about an ethnic group are the Damaras, okay? I love you, my Damara and Nama brothers and sisters, but I've heard a negative stereotype about Damaras is that they are more physically abusive towards their partners, okay? You guys let me know. I've never dated a Damara person, and so, but this is a stereotype I've heard, and I've heard it stories and accounts of people having some sort of altercation in their relationship while being romantically involved with Damara people. It's never good to stereotype like that, of course, and I'm sure there are plenty of Damara men who don't, lay hands on their partners, but that's just something that I've heard from women and men as well, who have been romantically involved with Damara, okay? And again, that's not based on my personal experience. This is a stereotype that I've heard. Now, if you're coming from the West, don't say, oh, well, Anton said there's a rumor of domestic violence amongst Damara men, so I won't be dating them. Nah, don't do that. Have your own experience. But this is just a stereotype I've heard, okay? I'm thinking about doing an interview, maybe of interviewing some folks when I get down to Namibia and seeing, what their responses are about these different stereotypes. What's another stereotype I've heard? Okay, I've heard a stereotype that the Nama women are the most built physically. They have the preferred physique, the most feminine physique, if you know what I mean. And so that could do with their ancestry, all right, being of Khoi and San descent, But I don't know, you guys. That's another stereotype, and it could be true. It could be false. Again, my partner is Oshavambo, so I really don't know about that. But you guys, let me know. I don't think that's necessarily a negative stereotype, but it could potentially be objectifying and probably limiting, because if a Nama woman is not particularly built in that way, then she might feel discriminated against or feel left out, right? So that's another stereotype. Let's see. What are some other stereotypes that I've heard? I have heard / seen that most ethnic groups date within their ethnic group. And I think that has to do with language, right? Most of the Bastars, or the colored folk I saw dating and married to other Bastars, and it's probably because they mostly speak Afrikaans amongst each other. And they have a history of, I think legally, they were only permitted to marry within their own ethnic groups back in the day. Okay, I don't know if that's for sure. You guys let me know, comment below. But that's what I thought. I actually was very, what's the word I'm looking for? I was kind of confused when I first arrived in Namibia and saw so many Bastards or mixed people only marrying other mixed folk, because, I don't know, it was just new to me. And my family has mixed ancestry, and they associate themselves with being black. And so it's different in Africa. So if you're mixed and you're in Namibia or South Africa, you are considered mixed or colored or bastard. And in America, it's starting to become that way, but in general, you're considered black, right? So my family, on my mom's side in particular, could very well pass as a bastard or a colored. My mom looks like that. Totally, if she went to Namibia, everyone would assume she was a bastard or a colored. But she identifies as black, right? So it's just that there's that cultural difference there, and that's something you have to be prepared for. What are some other interesting things about dating a Namibian? Well, let's see. The traditional values are there, like I mentioned. Romance is definitely different in Africa than it is here, but now they're becoming kind of having some of the similar dating styles and ways that we have, like taking your partner out on a date, taking your romantic partner out to dinner and the movies, and buying them special gifts. All these things are commonplace in Africa, and I would say Africans expect those things if you're going to be dating one. So that's not much different than here in the West. What else? Public displays of affection. They're not too uncommon. When I was in Windhoek, it's not as common, but now I'm not even really seeing it in the West either, to be honest. So I would venture to say that that's probably about the same. What are some major differences? I'm trying to think. At least for me, there aren't really many differences. Maybe some slight communication differences. For example, I remember one altercation I had with my significant other was that I wanted to be felt like a priority, and my partner did not want to leave the conversation that was being had among the roommates to come to talk to me over the phone, and I felt like that was an issue. We resolved it, but that's just something that I think is partially cultural, because it was made known to me that in Namibian culture, you should not leave your guests, even if it is to attend to your significant other. Namibians, let me know if that's true or not, but that's something that I noticed. Okay, this is another important thing I want to talk about. Okay, so please watch till the end. Don't go anywhere. You do have to look out for, when you're dating from the West and you're coming to Africa or anywhere else in the world, people always ask me, how do you know the person loves you for you and they're not just trying to get a visa or that American citizenship or a come up or financial assistance. Naturally, there are people looking for that anywhere in the world, even in the US, right? There are some people who only date you if they believe you have something financially to offer them. And are there people in Africa who are looking for that? Yes. Are there people in Africa looking for a green card? Yeah, of course. I've actually run into one in particular, but I was able to detect it right away. So if you're going to Africa, that is something you have to be conscious of. Okay. Make sure, and of course, I'm not saying all Africans are looking to do that, because there are plenty who are not, who are doing very well for themselves and are not interested in that at all. Okay. But it is something you could potentially run into. I've run into it, and the person who tried to swindle me was pretty ignorant, and I picked up on it instantaneously. If you're dating someone and you're talking to them online, let's say before you venture to Africa, that's fine. I've done that before. But make sure you do definitely FaceTime them, okay? Don't get catfished. Okay, that could be an entire video. Don't get catfished. It's never happened to me. But you make sure you FaceTime them, all right? I know someone who here in the U.S. who was scammed by someone who was in Africa claiming to be someone they were not, all right? And that happens a lot. So make sure if you are talking to somebody who claims to be in Namibia or wherever, make sure you see them, okay? But don't be afraid to date in Africa, okay? Because most people out there are not looking to do that. But definitely use your gut, use your mind, take things slow and get to know them. Because there are people looking to scam you anywhere in the world, and Africa's no exception, okay? But it also happens in the U.S., all right? You don't even have to go abroad for that kind of thing to happen. So, anything else before I go? I just want to say this in conclusion. I highly recommend it. Okay, like I said before, if you are having issues dating in the U.S., it doesn't mean that you're going to run into those same issues everywhere else. A lot of people in the U.S. it's difficult to date. For me in particular, for you maybe watching this, you might be saying, I've had no luck dating in the U.S. here at home. Well, you may not have those issues if you go to Africa, especially if you are of African descent and you find other folk who look like you to be beautiful or attractive. Then you should not have any issue dating, because the beauty standards here are set to favor more Eurocentric beauty standards. Colorism is a huge thing here, and not to say it doesn't happen there, but it's definitely, we're the majority in Africa, okay? So it's just a totally different experience. When you're walking down the street and you see so many melanated people like yourself, you see so many beautiful people, you see so many options, and they see you. They see you. I'd be walking through the mall in Windhoek, and I would have so many people turning and watching me and looking at me and checking me out. All right. It's just the fact. And happened way more in Africa than it did here in the US. Okay. I remember I got a lot of stares in Rwanda, and I thought maybe I looked crazy, but a Rwandan said, it's probably because the people in Rwanda found you very attractive. And, you know, in the U.S., I'm not going to say I never get hit on or people don't look at me, because they do, but it's definitely more prominent in Africa, all right? People in Africa are attracted to other black people, all right? So I want to encourage you, everyone, to go to Africa and check it out, especially if that's your thing. You're attracted to people of African descent, which how can you not be? All that melanin, all that chocolate, all that magnificence, right? But if you've been having issues finding romance here in the States, I want to encourage you to make it down to Africa. You will not regret it. There's a stigma attached to dating abroad or dating, trying to go somewhere to find a partner. And I think that stigma needs to be stopped, because let's face it, America is a challenging place to date and a challenging environment to date for people like me. And you won't most likely have that issue if you go somewhere where you are wanted. And the fact of the matter is, you are wanted in Africa, okay? Don't go there and think you're better than the local people. That is not what I'm saying. You aren't better. You have something to offer, which is your unique perspective. and they appreciate that. Like, oh, you're from a different experience or from a different culture. And most people there are curious about that. And they have much to offer you as someone who is returning to the motherland and curious to experience a different culture. They have so much to offer you. More traditional African values, a more family-centered culture. And so that's something beautiful. And yeah, you guys, I hope you make it down to Africa. My plans are to go in the very near future, and I look forward to that. By the way, I am starting a new channel. I'll still be putting content on this channel, but I'm going to be starting an ASMR channel. Okay, for those of you who are interested in that sort of thing, I have a lot of very creative ideas for that channel. I'm a creative. What do they call it? A hyphenated creative. And I'm a writer. And I have so many interesting ideas that I want to express on that channel through ASMR format. Health and wellness is important to me. And one way that I can increase health and wellness is through relaxation. Okay, that's a very underappreciated art form, helping someone relax. And so ASMR is a wonderful tool to do that. I listen to ASMR. I listen to a channel called Kosa. It's called African Kosa ASMR. I'll go ahead and show her picture here and link her channel below. I highly recommend her. She's one of the few African ASMR artists that I'm aware of. And so you guys, anyways, that about wraps up this video. Please make it to Africa. Go ahead and date somebody down in the motherland. You'll thank me later, all right? Let me know how that goes. And yeah, don't be clueless. Yes, there are people looking to take advantage anywhere in the world, but there are also people looking for genuine partnerships, and you are wanted down in the motherland, and you are considered beautiful, and you are the beauty standard down there. Okay, that's my experience, and I'm sharing that with you. Okay, so anyways, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Thank you for stopping by Anton's class. Let's journey together. Let's get well together.